What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So this video is an update video I've been meaning to make for several months now. I actually started recording this video, but it's just been a lot of stuff going on with all of this corona and everything. It's just been a whirlwind, I think, for everybody. So I haven't gotten around to recording this video. But anyways, I am here to update you on what's going on, and I'm making these videos to document this experience for myself, but also to share this experience or to help anyone who needs to see an actual person going through this. Because I know for me, when I first started, I watched a lot of videos where people had went through recovery, but never a person actively going through recovery, gaining the weight, going through all of the things that recovery will bring, and then being able to document that so that you can see it. Because it is a very psychologically stressful time, and it is hard to be on camera when you don't feel like yourself and when you feel a little bit out of sorts with everything. Please excuse me for background noise. I always have background noise in my videos, but I'm outside. It's a beautiful day today. And I just felt like, you know what, why not use this opportunity to update anybody who may be interested in what's going on. So, quick recap, I have been on a food freedom journey now for a year, a little over a year actually. It was a year in August of this year, and it has been interesting. It has been very, it's been a true learning experience. I've evolved in so many ways. Physically, psychologically, mentally. I mean, psychologically is mentally, but you know, just emotionally, everything. This has really, this whole recovery has been a full transformation for myself. So I really want to speak to that. That this is going to be a journey. You know, this is nothing like, you know, just a diet or of course it's not a diet, it's the leaving of the diet world, but you're not gonna get those quick results. You know, a lot of people want to just be done with dieting and then everything just go back to normal, and it takes time. You know, your body has been through a lot. If you ever had an eating disorder or if you were a chronic dieter, it takes time for anything to recover from, you know, years or months or however long you were doing that diet or that way of life. So anyway, I was a chronic dieter, 15 years on and off, chronic over exerciser, exercise 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. Intense exercise, hours and hours of exercise. I come from all that background. I was also in the military, so I had to be under a certain weight for, you know, the whole duration of that time, and you know, it made me have to resort to a lot of very unhealthy tactics to keep that weight off. So last year, around my 30th birthday, I decided that lifestyle was not something I wanted to continue. It was wreaking havoc on my emotional well-being, my mental well-being, and also my physical well-being, but I didn't realize that then. So over this journey, since I made my last video, I have had a lot of health issues that have kind of surfaced due to me recovering. Oops, something fell. But anyway, due to me recovering, I have experienced migraines. I never had migraines before. That was one of the main things that started kind of like before all the other symptoms. I started getting these really bad migraines, and then after that I started getting really bad indigestion and gastro issues. Now, if you watch other YouTubers who talk about recovery, these are things that they say are normal, and you are to expect these things, and that's very true. As your body begins to reset itself and relearn how to digest certain foods, you're going to have digestive issues. But even though I understood that, these digestive issues were almost at times debilitating. I would wake up in the morning and, I mean, not to give too much information, but I would be in the bathroom all day long, just, you know what you do in the bathroom. It's not good. Even having nausea nonstop, the crazy thing was, it was no longer a mental battle with food anymore. After probably about 4 or 5 months, I no longer even had an urge to binge or anything like that, but it was more so a battle with making sure I was getting enough food, because I had gotten to a point where food was no longer appetizing to me. I mean, any food, it didn't even matter what it was. Starting about January, February this year, I was completely, I might eat one meal a day, and I knew that wasn't the way that a recovery should go. You know, we're supposed to want to eat in recovery as much as possible to hurry up and speed the process so we can heal. But it was almost impossible for me to do that because I was just so sick all the time. My weight had climbed up, and even though I wasn't eating, my weight was still climbing, and it was just a very stressful time for me, honestly. I would say the darkest time during this recovery was the early parts of this year, February, March, even April, you know, spanning those 3 months. Really, it was hard. It was dark. It was really hard to get out of bed. It was hard to get things done around the house, especially with a lot of, you know, the new responsibilities that we got during Corona. Now we have to, you know, do school for our kids. You know, I still had to do the things that I had to do. I was a full-time student getting my master's degree. It was difficult. It was very difficult. And, you know, at that point I started to seek medical help because I felt like maybe something else could be going on. And, you know, long story short, it wasn't. It was just a part of the recovery, you know, test after test, other than some, like some uterine cysts, which I've had even predating this thing. I've always kind of had a PCOS type of issue where I would get cysts on my uterus, on my ovaries, not my uterus, my ovaries. But I started to develop those again. I'm not even sure if it's related to the recovery, but the gastro issues, you know, after getting tests done, scans done, turned out to be nothing, you know, nothing. So it was all a part of the recovery. Like most of these other people tell you that have been through recovery, you're going to go through those things. Probably around May, June, July, things started to get better. I was able to have a little more energy. My appetite was slowly getting better, picking up. And I honestly felt good. You know, the weight it's still hard. You know what I mean? Like, I think that when you have an ideal of what you think recovery will be like, it doesn't always go that way. And then that can be something that can discourage you. And especially if you don't feel like yourself. And that's a big thing about it. The weight definitely did not make me feel like myself. It made me feel like somebody else, and it still does. But I had to learn to love myself even with the weight. I had to learn to accept it for what it was. You know, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Some people think, and this is something I had to realize. Some people think, you know, oh, if you're gaining weight, and I've had these people say, you know, you just need to go on a diet. You need to eat healthy. You need to exercise. You need to do this. You're giving up on yourself. And I'm like, I'm not giving up on myself. I gave up on myself when I was putting myself through all of these different, you know, all of these different warped tactics to be something that I really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what my body's supposed to be, what weight I'm supposed to be, because I've been dieting since I was 15 years old. Since I was 155 pounds at 15 years old, and I'm 5'7". That's just not big. You know, that's average. And I have been on extreme diets my whole adult life. I don't even know what my preset weight would have been if I never had been on a diet. That's something that is so sad. And, you know, people telling me that because I'm gaining weight, I don't care about myself. No, I didn't care about myself back then. I love myself now. And because I love myself, I don't want to make myself something that is not. I don't want to force myself into a body that I'm not meant to have. And I say all that to say, am I comfortable being the size I am now? No. But I know this is just a stage in a process that's going to get me to the body that I'm supposed to have and what I was always supposed to have. And I won't have to kill myself to be that size or be that shape or whatever the case may be. That's the end goal, and everyone who's on this journey understands that. So things that have helped me in this journey: number one, journal. Journal. You or find someone to talk to. I don't even have a mentor. Like, I never, found someone who even understands in my community, who knows what, this is, food freedom. People think I'm crazy. People think that I'm just giving up on my life. Oh, you can't lose weight and you can't have a healthy lifestyle and not exercise or be on a diet. That's just how diluted this, and pervasive, and people are deluded, but this diet culture is that pervasive in our culture, that we think that, like, eating healthy, quote unquote, or being on a diet or subscribing to some sort of healthy lifestyle is literally the only way to live. Like, people can't just be normal, partake in normal eating habits. Sometimes some of the food you eat is going to be processed. That's just the world we live in today. And to think you can avoid, processed food, it's just insane. You never, even the organic stuff, you don't know what these people did to this food. Unless you're growing it out of your own grass, your own garden or something, you don't know. So it's just too much judgment being passed on people about how they eat. And so, and I personally have always been a healthy eater. Even when I was younger, I've always been fascinated with health. I've always been fascinated with, I love vegetables. People used to clown me when I was younger because they used to say, you would open up a bag of salad, lettuce, and just eat it right out the bag. No dressing, no nothing. That's how I've always been. I love vegetables. I love healthy food. I love it. So to say that I don't, eat healthy just because simply you see my exterior and you think that, oh, I'm just lazy, I don't eat healthy, I don't care about my health, it's just sad. That's the conclusion that people draw just off of how you look. You don't know me. But that's the world we live in. But you can't let that get to you. You have to just realize that people are ignorant, unfortunately, and you're on a journey that's for you, not for nobody else. And at this point, I don't even go back and forth with people. You know what I'm saying? Because I realize it's not even about me, it's about them. Something that they are struggling with. When they say insensitive things or, whatever, you need to be doing this or that, or give me some unsolicited advice. They're doing it because they think they're either helping, or they think that, excuse me, my shirt is like falling all off, but they think that, you gave up and you can't convince nobody. It's not your job. So I don't even go back and forth with people about anything about what I'm doing, But journaling will help you. Journaling, talking to someone. If you have a mentor, talk to that mentor. Get a mentor if you feel like you need that type of support. I'm a very strong individual, and when I make up my mind to do something, it really ain't nobody who can tell me anything. So I didn't need necessarily a mentor because, I knew I wasn't going to relapse. When I made this decision before I really honestly was clear on even what it was. I mean, if you go back and watch my first video, I had only seen like one video, and that was Stephanie Buttermore's video about, all in. Didn't even know food freedom at the time was really eating disorder recovery. I just assumed that, this was a girl who decided she was tired of being, on a restricted diet and was giving up on it. I didn't even know that there was a whole eating disorder recovery program. It wasn't until I started to go on my journey that I found all these videos and I found all these resources and books and decided that, wow, there's actually scientific-based research behind this. It really is, something to actually, there's so much research behind this. You know what I mean? You have like the Minnesota starvation experiment. You have all of this documented research that debunks everything that diet culture tries to say. But we still believe, and it's just like we believe the lie. It's cool though, it is, because people are going to do what they want to do, and it's not for anybody else to tell them not to. But I know that for me and the people that want to be free of this, it's possible. It is freedom, but it's a process like everything else. So journaling, I would also say a big thing too is you're going to have to embrace your size, regardless of what it is and how uncomfortable you are. That for me took a while. It did. Well, honestly, at first it wasn't hard because I actually kind of enjoyed the weight, the little bit of weight I picked up in the beginning of the recovery. That was cool for me. I liked it. I started, getting a little bit thicker, and I liked it. But then as the weight kept coming on, that's when it became a little bit like, whoa, this is a lot bigger than I've ever been. And it just felt, it felt crazy. I ain't gonna lie. But I learned to love myself at this size, regardless of whatever flaws other people may see or perceive. And I had to ask myself, are the flaws really there, or are they in your head? In my head speaking, are they in my head? Because I actually started to get more attention from men than I ever did before, even when I was smaller. And people really didn't seem to see the weight like I did. So, aside from like family members and stuff. But you just got to get to a place where you have to embrace that size. That means you're going to probably have to take some things out of your wardrobe, rearrange your wardrobe so that it fits this size better. You are more comfortable in your skin. That's a big thing. And I take care of myself so much. I make sure I pamper myself. I keep my nails done. I keep my toes done. I make sure that, I'm never letting myself go. I make sure I pay extra attention to my skin. I pay extra attention to my, my hygiene, because this is the thing. Just because I'm a bigger girl doesn't mean that I'm letting myself go. That's not what that is. That's not what this is. I'm still gonna do me. I'm still gonna be cute with this. And so that's how I had to do it, and that's how I feel that I got through the hardest parts of the weight gain. And at this point, the weight gain really doesn't even matter to me anymore. I feel it coming off slowly, but and it has plateaued. Like for several months, like 5 months, I was at the same size. So I knew that I was coming towards, the light at the end of the tunnel, because my weight really didn't change since like April, May. The weight kind of just plateaued, and then I began to slowly, and I do mean like 1 pound every month or so, drop a pound here and there. And I don't even honestly count that as weight loss, because it's not significant enough to say, oh, this is weight loss. But what I will say is I feel like it's showing me at least that my body is moving forward through this process. Will my weight ever go back down to what it was when I was dieting? I don't know, because I don't know. My whole adult life I've been dieting. So whatever my weight was while I was dieting, I don't know what my real weight was, and what I'll be at the end of this whole process. But what I will say is that whatever weight I go back down to, at least I know that I don't have to worry about being on some yo-yo roller coaster. That'll just be my weight, and I don't have to keep killing myself to maintain that weight. So anyways, I know this video probably it's not the most in-depth video. I plan to make more videos. I just wanted to give an update, because I know some people who watch my other videos may want to know what's going on. And my advice, honestly, is that stick with what you're doing. If you made a decision to enter into this recovery process, don't just give up because you're not seeing the results, or it's not coming out the way you want it. Recovery, and I'm gonna say this too, recovery is individual. You can watch my video, you can watch a whole bunch of videos on this topic, I've read books, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've read books, I have watched YouTube videos, read blogs, everything, and researching, and it helps to know you're not alone. It helps to see other people's experience, but just know your experience is individual, and what you go through is going to be different from what someone else will go through, because how you got to this place of eating disorder, how you got to an eating disorder is going to be different from how I got to an eating disorder. So it's all going to be individual to you, and what you personally, your personal journey, and why you even ended up on this path to begin with. So just remember that. And there's no wrong or right way to do recovery. You know, I know people say, I've seen videos with like, you have to be eating 2,000-3,000 calories a day. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just because of my health, I couldn't eat that much. It wasn't like I was mentally saying I don't want to eat. It was because I literally was sick as a dog at one point, and food repulsed me. I never felt like this in my entire life. You understand? Because I've always loved food. I come from a family where we love food. So yeah, it just wasn't something that I ever thought I'd even feel. But this is how I felt, and I had to listen to my body. You know what I'm saying? And then there are days when I have an amazing appetite and I eat a whole bunch of food. I don't track it, but I know I eat well over 3,000-4,000 calories, you know, and that's great. But that's the thing. It doesn't have to be structured in any way. You just live intuitively, live your life intuitively, and the food thing will work itself out. You know, I treat this like I treat everything now. And one thing I will say is that the intuitive eating actually opened the door to for me to find spiritual freedom. I found spiritual freedom through learning how to live intuitively through food freedom. And I will make further videos about that, but just know that this process is not just about food. It's a whole process. It's a whole transformation. And you know, don't make it just about weight and food. You know, it may start off that way because you just want to, you know, be done with dieting, but understand that it encompasses so many other aspects, and that you don't want to cut yourself off from those other benefits just because you're scared of how you may look or whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna end this here. Any questions or comments you'd like to leave, please leave them in the comment section. And I will try to be better with posting more videos, because I really do want more people to, you know, get this information and to, you know, make the decision that if you've been wanting to do this, or if you are on this journey, I'm here, I'm in it with you. Just like I said in my other videos, we're doing this. So, all right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.